So first, I belong to an entity called AXA Climate. What we do is focusing on climate adaptation, and we develop for our clients risk analysis and parametric insurance that was already a little bit discussed in this panel. We acknowledge that the role of nature is crucial as disaster risk reduction. So we talked about mangrove, providing natural barriers to the coastal assets, coral reef reducing wave energies up to 97%. And insurance companies are convinced by these figures, right? We have the science, we have the data to prove that natural assets are part of the adaptation solutions we need to deploy to increase the coastal resilience. However, past examples of using nature to decrease insurance premium haven't proven successful so far. Why? Because there is this gap regarding the timeline issues. Let's imagine you have today a healthy coral reef or a healthy mangrove barriers around your coast. Then the role that this ecosystem is playing as a barrier is already integrated in the level of risk that the insurer will evaluate for this area. So there is no reason from the insurance perspective to decrease the premium because the risk is not decreased, is as it is. Now let's imagine that the ecosystem is degraded because of human activities, because of a storm, and no longer efficiently play its role of protection. And then, yes, restoring it will decrease the exposure of the assets behind the mangroves, let's say, and then the risk will decrease and the insurance premium will decrease. It will not happen overnight, however, right? It will need years of restoration activities. And insurance companies today are not ready to decrease the premium for a risk that will only decrease in 5-7 years. An avenue that we are exploring today at AXA Climate is how we can protect nature directly. So I heard from the previous talk of Dr. Ahmed Shawki, this idea of insuring coral reef. So this is what we've been developing here at AXA Climate. And the way we are doing it is using parametric insurance product to release money very fast and restore as quick as possible the degraded ecosystem following a tropical cyclone, for instance, or following a marine heat wave. What is important to keep in mind is that insurance can only intervene after an acute climate event, something unforeseen, something that we cannot predict. Insurance can't be used for a trend event. Parametric insurance is very powerful because we use satellite imagery to trigger very fast in just a few days the insurance money after a marine heat wave, for instance, and it's also tailored to the project specificities, right? It means that we can use the insurance money to finance the cost to repair the marine area that has been evaluates the damages of business interruptions. So I heard in the previous talk about the link between, for instance, ecotourism or fishing activities with a healthy ecosystem. When we design the insurance product, business interruption can be integrated for all related economic activities that are directly dependent to the ecosystem health. Going now to what I heard on how we can value in the insurance company the value of the natural ecosystem. One important element to keep in mind is that the higher the value of the insurance is, of the insured asset is, the higher the insurance premium will be. And this is a challenge, right? So the avenue that we are taking now is not integrating the entire value of all the co-benefits provided by the ecosystem, but only the restoration cost and the business interruption. Insuring natural assets is also very powerful to secure the investment. So that was already discussed with impactful example provided by Renata. But with our experience, we could accelerate, I would say, natural investment in the Philippines. So there, since 3 years now, we are covering a marine protected area manager called Blue Alliance against tropical cyclone. So concretely, up to $250,000 might be triggered in just a few days after a cyclone if it comes by where the marine protected areas are. And this money will be used by the area manager to deploy an emergency response into the reef directly, and also to maintain the salaries of the local communities employed by the MPA manager, paying back for damaged boats, damaged infrastructure, etc. What is interesting in this specific use case is that the insurance component played a significant role in the blended finance vehicle that Blue Alliance, the MPA manager, built to raise money for the development of the MPA. One of the key investors of this blended finance vehicle is the French bank BNP Paribas. When discussing with them, we understood that for them, the climate threat, which is quite important in the Philippines, was mitigated thanks to the insurance product from an investment perspective. So this was just to share very concrete examples of how we can merge insurance component with the investment component to trigger more, to accelerate, I would say, investment into natural capital. As I can't really hear you in the room, I'm not sure how much time I have left, but what I would like to emphasize on is that when I started a few years ago, only 2 nature insurance programs existed, the one in Quintana Roo and the Marfund. And now what we see is around 10, 15 nature insurance programs worldwide, either implemented or in development. So yes, this is progressing, I would say, even if there is still a lot of work to be done. At AXA Climate, we are directly involved in 5 different programs for nature. So the Marfund, where we are protecting the Mesoamerican reef against tropical cyclones, Blue Alliance in the Philippines that I just mentioned. We are also insuring a community that lives out of mangrove restoration in Mexico. Now we are insuring the coral reef in Colombia, so not yet in Egypt, but maybe soon. And we also worked with UNDP country office in the Maldives to do insurance feasibility study. It's not, the limitation today is not in the product design, right? What we need is collaboration, international collaboration between insurance companies, investors, and conservation actors to deploy products that will reduce the real risk and also the perceived risk. And for me, the topic today is not that much on scalability, but really on replicability. There are some use cases, there are publications around it, so we can learn from each other, and we can definitely make a difference with the insurance product to accelerate the investment potential of nature. Thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of the conference.
Many thanks to Ariane. I think she raised some very important points.